Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be sharing my ideas for 2K26. I wrote this during the Royal Rumble because I knew it would kind of suck ass. So here's what I got. Over 1,280 words written down on this. What I want is a menu change. Here's my explanation. When clicking a certain game-infused main brand / PLE arena, the menu can expand to choose which specific arena. So I'll give you an example. So let's say I want to choose an arena. I'll go to one of these. They'll all be normals. I want these to update to current, I want it to update to current PLE stages. So this one is going to be Tampa soon. This one, I don't know if it looks the same or not. That one looks the same. This one was upgraded, I think. But you kind of get the idea. So instead of having all these other ones separately, 2017, 2024, all this, SmackDown Revolution, all that, what I want is to have a very close kind of set. So if I go down to NXT, SmackDown, or Raw, here I'll give you an example. When you click this, or when you press, let's say, triangle, let's put used to triangle. If you press triangle, there will be a drop menu on where it says, on where it has all the history of that arena that you picked in there. So this one, if I click that, I would scroll down, it would have the stage where they had the fist. So the examples I put on, once you click on Raw, the Netflix edition, which is over here, it'll expand to show other Raw stages like Raw is War, Raw in 2017. What else I want? The other thing that I want to add, the other thing that I want to have added in here is to introduce every WWE, WCW, and ECW arena throughout the years and new stages throughout 2026. And it can stop at WrestleMania 43 because that is the build-up of when... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, it can stop at WrestleMania 43 because that's when it's going to be released. That's when it's going to come out. And they can just update it for there. Or they don't have to. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me rephrase that. So throughout 2026, I want them to add more things. So let's say that it was 2024, okay? Let's say that they did this before in 2024. If I waited for 2026 Backlash, that icon would be changed to say Tampa, because that's where Backlash 2026 is going to be, in Tampa, Florida. It would have that. You would click triangle. You would click triangle. There would be a drop menu. It would say Backlash 2025, 24. It goes throughout the years. It'll go downwards. Once you scroll up like that, it'll lead you all the way down to the bottom. And you can also do the section thing that it does in when you choose a move in the move sets. When you press that button, it'll skip past, because I'm pretty sure all these stages have good history.
Here's an example. So you see that triangle icon? If you click that, the menu will expand for that arena and you can pick whatever SmackDown arena was showing up. There would be 97, 2001, 2012, 17, throughout the years basically. Hopefully that makes sense now.
Backstage brawl stages. I wanted to include graveyard matches, backstage throughout the years. When I say backstage throughout the years, I mean when they all had sections like they did in 2K, pretty sure it was 17 or 18, when you could throw people into the electric boxes. That's my personal favorite in backstage matches. You know, in a backstage brawl in here, you see that moment? I want that moment to also happen. I'll get to that soon. So in this, when I say backstage brawl, you see that spotlight? I want it to be an instant knockout through the spotlight. If they keep this backstage, I want it to be like that. when dragging your opponent to the elevator, you can come out of the elevator still holding your opponent, dragging your opponent, or if the opponent is still stunned, let's say you throw him into the elevator and he comes out on the top, he'll crawl out. So that'll be a new little animation, introducing a crawl animation out of the elevator. Another thing that I want back is bringing back OMG moments, because 2K has grown to be massive over the years with new content. Introduce OMG moments for cars, X bashing, like, here's some examples: bashing the head with the car hood, breaking the car glass by throwing them onto the windshield, introducing a new ledge and add an OMG moment recreated by Braun and Bronson with the car, which is the icon on top. Instead of this, they can introduce a new backstage that kind of looks like that, a little open with the truck and stuff. It'll be this, it'll be separate, it won't be NXT, it'll just say parking lot. Backstage to the parking lot, you can go inside the backstage area and, you know, kind of how they do. When a superstar in WWE, when they go backstage, it kind of leads to an outside opening. That's what I want to happen. That's kind of how the idea is going. Introduce a new outside backstage brawl stage for main brands, which is what I just talked about, instead of just NXT. Add OMG moments by ramming over opponent with cars. It requires 2 finishers to use. New weapons scattered, bring back action moves with chairs. Back in 2018, you used to be able to take a chair and put it to someone's arm, leg, or head and slam it, and it would hurt them bad. That's what I want. Introduce more busted open areas like legs, arms, and the back instead of just the head dripping down to the torso. Give it a little more life when they get injured, busted open. Introduce new body types and veins. That's a big one that I would really want to see. Maybe, okay, not as much, but I would like to see more body types instead of reusing the same ones. There's like 3 veins on the arm. I would like to see more of those, like little John Cena squiggle. Introduce sponsored and custom weapons. Now, no one likes sponsors in the WWE, but I want this game to just be like alive. So what I mean by that is in the weapon menu, when you are making a match, when you get to here, okay, you see where that ladder is? I don't know officially. I don't think I wrote this down. I want to click it. I want there to be a drop-down menu if you can choose sponsored or not. I'm probably just gonna, okay, let's just say no. Okay, let's just say no. Ladder, normal ladder here, fireball ladder here. These are examples. A Bad Bunny kendo stick, kind of like this. A Slim Jim table with that. Add as optional use in weapons menu when editing matches. Okay, I did talk about it. So not a drop-down menu, I guess just to the side like they do with the matches as of now. So I'm pretty sure that's Jimmy Hart's. This, I didn't write this down, but I would love this to be an idea. Have you seen those death matches in indies when they have like a giant light bulb sword? They can add that. The game could get pretty laggy. It's understandable. So that's kind of my deal. They could add more sports balls like tennis, golf, just like everything. Golf clubs, just a lot of weapons, wrenches, screwdrivers, hammers. Not like sledgehammers, like actual hammers. A decent looking shovel, rakes, all that good stuff. Another thing, introduce new variations for WWE imported superstars. When clicking a superstar, you can choose to edit the variation in the drop-down menu to change outfits related to past events. Now, when I say that, I don't want them to do too much work because, you know, they don't like doing too much work. So what I mean is if I click Roman Reigns, I want there to be an edit button here. And then you can edit the variation. So you can do, okay, I'll use Rock as an example. So you got Rocky Maivia, The Rock, 97. When I say that, oh wait, yeah, there are. My bad. Look, you see how it's like separated? You see how it's separated like this? I want you to be able to click it, edit, and then it'll show all these other icons that you got for that character. I want it to go around for PLEs, very important PLEs that people remember. Old events like Rocky Maivia and Rocky 97 and Rocco 1. Kind of like that. If you can get that idea, then yeah. So when I say that, I wanted it to be added to every superstar that had one of those. So for example, R-Truth, Hair, No Hair, Heel Truth, and Cake Quick, Rhea Ripley, Mae Young Special, Judgment Day, Crown Jewel, Royal Rumble 26. And it's only available for PLE outfits or crazy moments. So when R-Truth cut off his hair, when R-Truth still had his hair, when R-Truth was a heel, very memorable moments. This one's a little silly. Introduce fighting commentators, managers as an April Fool's joke, keeping them official in WWE roster on April 1st, featuring Royal Rumble Michael Cole, commentators currently Wade Barrett, Corey Graves, Joe Tess, Mark Nash, Lillian Garcia, Alicia Taylor, Jackie Redmond, Kathy Kelly, and whoever else was there. Jesse Ventura is already there. I want there to be a variation of him, if you can kind of understand that. Introducing body paint, more pre-placed tattoos for the back, torso, arm, and leg. Introducing face tattoos as well. I would love for there to be body paint, so when you get hurt, you can treat the body paint as the face paint when your character starts sweating, kind of like Finn Balor has. It's not body paint; it's body tattoo, and it doesn't go away when you start sweating. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to happen. Pre-placed means the tattoos that you can't put on people. So think of this. Immovable scars and movable scars. You can move a certain amount of scars that is set in the menu, and immovable is already there. So it's all like scars on the body, one on the face, one on the cheek, kind of like that. Face tattoos, that's self-explanatory. I want there to be more for the leg, the arm, torso, and back, all that. Introduce different kinds of body hair, regular hair, arm hair, and leg hair. That would be a good change. I'm not really ecstatic about it, but it would be a nice thing to do instead of having those tiny amounts of funny looking body hairs on the arms, very hairy. Introduce something like Seth Rollins, I don't know what to call it. It's below his belly button where there's hair. Something like that. And more facial hair. Add more names to the name pool. When I'm editing a superstar, there's cool names that I would like to put, but I cannot, like this. We'll use him as an example. Let's say I wanted to use a name like, is Dante in here? See, okay, that's a good example. Dante. Dante is not a name in here. I would like for there to be more names added to the name pool. If they look it up, try to exclude out all the names that they already put in there. That's kind of what I mean. I would like to use Dante for one of my superstar names, but I can't because it's not there. Introduce custom creations category for custom videos and themes. Community creations is very loved in the downloads because you can just get anyone you want. You can deadass just import any superstar from any brand like AEW, the competition in here. So instead of these, there could be 2 more sections added called custom videos and themes, which would be nice because we need those. And to do that, they could try to collab with Spotify, any music streaming app. They could collab with them. They could put any songs in there. They could take out the AEW songs. I could care less. They could let people import their own thing from the computer, or just, I don't know, if they can figure it out. Another thing, when you're at a certain WWE imported arena, microphone flag changes as the arena are set. So when I'm fighting in the Attitude Era on Universe, and I have a promo set, it brings back the regular flag for Raw as of now in the Netflix edition. I don't want that. I want it to be an actual Attitude Era microphone, if that makes sense, the Scratch edition. What would be nice for them to add as well is if you can put custom microphone flags on the microphone and you could import it to the show. They could do that instead. That's cool if they want to. I'm fine with that. And then you can import that into the custom arena that you either downloaded or made yourself. returning of promo words. Instead of just the regular little promos that they have, you can call out someone when you're in the promo. You can either accept, fight, leave, say no, say yes. I want it to be more. Because back in 2018, 2K18, they had this thing with promos where you can go back and forth insulting each other, trying to win the promo. I want that to happen. They can also do the same thing for self promos. I don't know. They can keep it as is. They can add more things instead of just saying, I'm going to win my next match. You can say, I'm going to win my title. I'm going to win the title back. I'm going to get something back. I'm going to get the tag team championships. They could add tag team promos as well, from 2 to multiple. If someone is doing a promo on themselves, they can do a pass around. Okay, maybe not all that, but like if they have a self promo, they can let their own teammates come out there and just be there to look cool. Because you know when the Vision does their promos, Paul Heyman's out there, he's talking, the others are out there kind of like that. Introduce backstage segments. That can also be a thing in the promo section. They can change the name from promos to segments. A backstage segment is getting an interview in the back, or someone walks in, someone interrupts, something like that, which would be really nice to give more life to the custom characters that you create. I'm big on custom characters. I got a whole list of them. I'll show you right now. I made all these guys like a few years ago. So as you can see, it is stacked to the brim with people in the men's and the women's as well. A lot of these are downloaded. Don't worry about it. That's what I'm kind of wondering, because I want to try to make my own thing. I want it to be more live. Next thing, introduce custom set managers, GMs, commentators, and backstage interviewers. So back to the whole custom superstar thing. When you make someone, okay, you can set them as a GM in my GM. I want that to be in universe. I want you to be able to set someone as the GM, because this guy's a GM. He's a GM. He's a GM. They're all GMs for things. I want there to be interviewers, which means I want more slots. We'll get to that soon. So that kind of makes sense. Commentators, they can add custom voices. This is another thing. Introduce custom voices to give custom characters more life, because everyone's silent, everyone's very quiet. They can let the superstars in on something. They can let them do voice lines as well as they do in My Rise, which would honestly be a good addition to the 2K franchise, because exceeding this much from all these ideas from 2K25 to all these ideas in 2K26, that would be a big improvement. Guaranteed more purchases could be made. Then you make a lot of money. I want them to be creative with the people. Introduce importing custom superstars from previous 2K games to current, including themes, movesets, Titantrons, videos, motions, entrance, and victory. If certain things are not available in the next game because someone either left or they're not associated anymore, inform the player of what will be missing from that superstar and be very specific with what you're missing. So let's say that a theme or a Titantron is gone. If you use a custom video, you don't have to import that. You can't import it to the next game. That's fine. You can just do it again, make it again. If that makes sense. So let's say that a piece of clothing is gone from your character because the person who had that isn't in there, or it's either locked or it's locked behind something, which is typical. Be specific with what's unlocked. Be specific with what is locked behind something or is not in the game anymore. Say, hey, on this superstar, it says, yeah, you can't have it, it's gone. When I say I want it to show or notify the player, I want there to be a little menu on the top left of this screen that says notifications. When you click that, you can see everything there, notifications, instead of just showing up with the news like this. The news can show up just like that, is what I'm saying. I want you to be able to press L1, or not L1, sorry, L3 in the top left menu that says notifications, and it'll say, hey, your superstar, blah, 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 something like that, okay? Or your data was corrupted on a certain superstar, you couldn't download it, something like that you already know, so we can see more efficient. Expand custom superstar slots from 100 to 200, giving players expanded play for Universe and My GM. I like expanding my roster from my custom stuff, and all the limits are 100. I don't want to have to do 50 and 50 for men and women. I want to add more men. I want to add more women, so I can make all the divisions seem capable of doing what I want them to do. So I can add old superstars from the past games, try to recreate them from my mind or recreate them from a picture and add them instead of just doing casuals. I wanted to add a lot of people. I wanted to add everyone from the past games that I had because there's a lot of customs in those games that I wanted to use and play with. Remove my faction. I say remove my faction because we gotta stay back by all these stupid additions. No, I want to be able to use these people instead of having to play my faction or the island and just get stuff there. Unlock it in my Rise. I could care less. My Rise, my GM Universe Showcase. That's fine. Just keep it there. Another thing, introduce 10 members in one team instead of 5 to expand more, because as you can see, the vision is getting big. You can take a hint from the Don Callis family in AEW. I know it's nothing like that since it's a WWE game. I wanted to expand more so I can add more people, introduce more current superstars instead of just buying them or getting them from community creations. Now, introduce more clothing options in the generic category. What I mean by that is I don't want to have to just keep finding clothes that people already used in the past because it looks like I'm just a repeat offender. It looks like I'm a copycat. I don't like it. It's to expand custom superstars instead of constantly looking like a cheap copy, even though it's not. Update superstars entrance and victory motion. The example is Cody Rhodes. I saw in the game trailer for 2K26 they're keeping that same entrance motion for Cody. He doesn't immediately hit after the whoa. He gives it a second and then he hits and then he goes on. That is like the main thing that I just want fixed. Fix his entrance. Add new current themes to superstars instead of relying on last year's themes. So let's say that they wanted to be extra lazy and not add the new Austin Theory theme. They wanted to rely on A-Town Down. Don't want that. I do not want that at all. I want them to instantly put it in. Instantly. Add less important cosmetics and items behind my Rise. I rather just play my Rise because it's cool, it's fun. I don't want to have to do all these secrets, all these loopholes. I don't want to have to replay it. I just want to enjoy the game that I purchased myself. I don't want to have to go through all that, okay? Add different stages. This goes along with all the different stages that I was talking about in the drop-down menu. The example is the store, the gas station, an office, and a mall, and etc. Whatever you can in public. You could even fight on the streets surrounded by cars and barricades with people cheering you on from outside. Cop cars, lights around, buildings, something like that. In the middle of an intersection. If that makes sense, then good. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry. The example of when I came up with the store, it took me back to Stone Cold with Booker T in the convenience store messing with milk. That's one of the examples that I'm using. Add custom shirts for audience. More flair for custom superstars makes them think that, hey, that's an actual fan of my custom superstar. It gives them more life. By doing that, use the custom images. There'll be a little category that says NPC clothing, shirts, decals, images. Just put it there. It'll automatically do the rest. When eliminating someone, include the HUD saying who was eliminated, who was active, or how many people are active, and the next entrant number. Like they just did in this Royal Rumble. I'm pretty sure they did it in the last one in 25. It's to look more efficient. TNA and AAA collaboration introducing new superstars, commentator sets, stages, themes, and videos. When I say commentator sets, I mean Spanish announcers, different of the teams that they do. Like Michael Cole, Corey Graves will keep them. Joe Tess, Wade Barrett. Add more jumping out of the ring moves, and it is just filled with feints. I want to jump out the ring in cool ways, but like 5 of them are filled with feints. Feints outnumber the actual jumping to attack your opponent, which I think is stupid. When adding voices to customs, have the opportunity to use the management team, whoever is working on the game, to import their voices inside and use the normal names as male 1 voice, male 2 voice, female 1 voice, female 2 voice. So you can make their presence known as well. You can put it in the credits. You can pay them more. They'll be happy. Introduce more entrances and victory motions with props. Include icons to let players know that that certain motion has a prop in it. So Logan Paul's entrance has glasses where he tosses. I want it to let people know that they have that certain prop, which with a little icon, let's say with a P on the side in a circle. Introduce better striking noises. Enhance the chop sounds, kicks, ring noises, hits, and heavy hits, as the chops sound like complete doo-doo. On AEW Fight Forever, it sounds a lot better with chops, okay? That's all I'm saying. Add Mr. Iguana Wake Up when on backside. Introduce a mechanic to remove gloves, suspenders, shirt, and glasses for custom and WWE imported superstars. L3 2 times, because R3 targets. L3 2 times. New menu poses, hand poses, and face poses are needed when making a custom superstar to give them more pizzazz and flair. And chants dedicated to superstars is Ole 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 Ole. AJ Styles chants as it was in France. Audience sings with CM Punk's theme, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton's theme with Oba and Trick Williams as well, etc., etc. It's a payback, and it only works on luchador masks. Put in a metal plate, then headbutt. When superstar variants are changed, include the theme and Titantron dedicated to that specific variant. Next, as I was saying, add voice keys and the 2026 Chad Gable El Grande. They both showed up in the Royal Rumble. Voice keys, known as Powerhouse Hobbs from AEW, is now in WWE, and Chad Gable returned with some facial hair, and he looks better than ever with insane muscles. I'm saying just add that. Add new pyros. Oh my god, I need new pyros. The pyros now suck. Half of the time they don't work. Most of the time it's always smoke. Add more, please. Add the pyros of stage, ramp, and ring. Fix it. Add objects given by fans when in outside of ring and barricades. Hand out props like titles, crutches, whatever they used to have before. Phones. You can take it and you can use it. They used to do that in 2K17. I do not know why they took it out. Add new fan motions in certain entrances. Make sure they look good. Make sure they're looking at the superstar coming out or superstars. Half and half. Fix the crowd yeeting gesture. They look like they're bowing down like Jay is some kind of Lord of Lords. He's not. He's a Samoan. Just do the simple yeet. Fix that. Introduce more paybacks. For example, thumbtacks bag, different variation like tax and the CM Punk bracelet or coins. When using the tax payback, superstar spills on the floor in front of them where they stand. They can powerbomb their opponent onto the tax, which will do a lot more damage. And to make it more efficient, when the superstars who got hit with the thumbtacks gets up, some of them will fall from the back, and it'll look like some of them are stuck inside his back. It all depends on where the opponent falls. On the face, it'll get stuck to the face a little bit. On the stomach, it'll get stuck to the stomach. It doesn't have to be random. When colliding with thumbtacks like that, it can be like a simple little sprite. So let's say, so you know when you start bleeding, right? When you get busted open in 2K. When you get busted open, blood trickles down from the forehead. There's certain kinds of looks that do that when you get busted open in the head. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure it's like simple like that. It's not, doesn't have to stick. It looks like blood dripping. It's actually thumbtacks dripping off. That makes sense. Pepper spray payback. It's the same as the powder does. It blinds them. They can't move right. New low blow motion. Randomized with a kneel and hit or kick. The kick only works on the front. The kneel and hit works both ways, from the back, from the front, doesn't matter. Chains weapon. When picking up, the superstar wraps the chains around the hand. Use that as another weapon, kind of like brass knuckles. It's not going to be a payback. It's going to be under the ring. They'll pull it out. They'll wrap it around their hand. Then yeah, they'll be able to go around and hit. When Jasper Troy gets attacked mid-entrance, or anyone with Jasper Troy's entrance motion, which has props, which is a chain around the neck, the superstar is able to use the chain as the weapon. Whoever has a Jasper Troy, the custom superstar, doesn't matter. They can pick up the chain. They can use it as a weapon, like a belt. Oh, also add belts. Cody Rhodes belt. Bring back, coming out of backstage when breaking out. When coming second only works in one-on-one. When coming first and breaking out, you break out from ringside. So what that means is when a superstar does their entrance, you were able to run out from the backstage or run out or run to them from the front, which is in front of the announce table, which is where the superstars stay at. So when I say bring back coming out of backstage when breaking out when coming second, you are the second superstar. You can break out and come from behind from the backstage as the first opponent goes. Do whatever you want, come out with whatever weapon, hit them from the back, they'll never know. When DQ'd in a match, there's gonna be 30 seconds left active to attack each other. So it doesn't feel like a complete waste when you get disqualified. It kind of ends the match instantly. You gotta hit him at least like once. You won't be able to see the timer. There will be 30 seconds remaining to start beating the guy before it ends. Better fire on tables. Fire has been a big thing on tables ever since it was released. I don't know when, but the graphics of it have been getting better and better. I want them to kind of update that for 2K26 so it actually looks like fire instead of whatever it is now. It does look like fire now, but yeah. Superstar catches small amount of fire when thrown through burning table. Give it a little more life, okay? When someone is thrown through a flaming table, they're going to roll around till all the fire is gone. That's going to be like a need. And if you're out there and they're already through the table and they're on fire, they're burning, not a lot of fire, they're going to have burn marks. You can kick them while they're down. They can't reverse because if you're thrown through a burning table, instant stun, okay? Instant stun. It's different from getting thrown through a regular table because, I mean, dude, you can't just get back up a second after being on fire. I mean, come on, let's be realistic here. Better breaking physics on the table as well. That's not written down. I'm saying as I'm going as well. When a title match is active, there will be an interactable podium with the title on it. So when a title match happens, there's usually a podium with the title on it that they usually look at. They grab it from there and hit the opponent like John Cena does, for example. If either any superstar is Money in the Bank winner and still has case, competes in a match, the case will be available for use either under the ring or by the announce table or by the ring bell. Next, ring bell can be used as a weapon. I always thought that the ring bell could have been used as a weapon. I don't know. I doubt it is now. Also, with that also means that the arena is expanded, so you can kind of walk out, walk in, walk wherever you want, but you cannot go outside of the stadium on the inside. You can go where the curtains are, where people usually come in as an entrance to the arena, but you can't exit those curtains. They're going to be stiff. They're going to be stuck. You can't go through. There's going to be nothing at the end. So, along with the ring bell as a weapon, it's going to be on the table, obviously. You can jump that barricade and grab the ring bell. You can grab chairs from behind. There's 2, 3 chairs. And then, yeah, you can just kind of walk around away from the hard cam. When powerbombing heavyweights onto the table should break. I've always wanted that to happen. It looked pretty cool. It looked very nice. It makes sense having a heavy person get powerbombed through a table and then it starts breaking. I mean, come on. That's common sense. Speaking of tables, introduce double stacking people on the announce table. Then the limit is 2. Obviously, you can stack doubles. You can stack 2 people on top of each other or next to each other on a table, which it's like putting someone on the table, jumping on them from the top rope, or a ladder, just with another person. Table stacking returns. The limit is 2. Don't really got to explain much for that. When locked superstars are in my GM, instead of being active, it will be inactive until the player unlocks them. So I'll actually show you that. You see, wait. Oh, wait. Okay, here. So the people that are locked. Okay, here, right here, right here. This is a good example. I did not unlock zero. This is what I mean. When locked superstars are in my GM, instead of being active or local, for example, it will be inactive until you unlock that person. So if I unlock this guy, I can have access to his status. But since he's locked, he's going to be like Rhea Ripley over here, inactive. So that's like the most sense I can make. Introduce new rival reactions and championship matches, backstage brawls, and custom matches dedicated for those match types. So there's going to be more OMG moments is what I'm talking about here. New rival reactions and championship matches. Because right now, you can't really use rival reactions in championship matches. It's only in a normal match. And like, I want it to be for a title. So what I mean is I want there to be a whole new section of new animations of what you can do in those kinds of matches. Same thing with custom matches dedicated for those match types, like break the steel cage wall after the winner climbs out. It's a Bobby Lashley reference. Tractor at the end of the match, Roman and Brock reference. Forklift through car in the backstage, Bloodline and Brock reference. Introduce the Firefly Funhouse match, the Boiler Room, Lights Out, Blacklight, Inferno, I Quit. Knockout matches is another variation of the Underground, just with the ropes. I don't really have to explain that. I don't think I should. Firefly Funhouse, you can just walk. Okay, when I say Firefly Funhouse Boiler Room, it's just another arena. Okay, it's just another arena. It's not like separate. The Lights Out match, Blacklight, Inferno, I Quit, and the Knockouts. Add Evolve to my GM and Universe. That is needed. Since they are doing pretty good so far, it's only fair to add them. Return of My Player. More story to it, adding more instead of playing as one guy normally, which will get boring in Universe. You can add a custom roster instead of the normal WWE roster like you can do in Universe already. From tryouts to ID to Evolve to NXT to main roster or upcoming PLE debut like Royal Rumble or maybe after someone wins, which would be nice. Update championship holders. That's not hard to understand. Drew McIntyre is still the champion right now. Updated to him. Julia's the women's US title holder right now. Change to her. Blah, 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 blah. Add referee variations. Current WWE referee outfits, which are the gray with like 2 black strips, and the old ones, which is black and white. And I'm not into the Saudi stuff. The bodysuits do look cool. It would be also cool if you can put the long sleeves on Jessica Carr in like Saudi Arabia. It could automatically show. So 2K seems like, hey, we like culture, guys, don't worry. And the last thing that I'm talking about, add flashlights. When a big move happens like that, not finisher-wise, super finisher and OMG moments, they pull out their phone, they turn on their flashlights, and they start waving it around. And that's kind of all I got to talk about today.